And harvested sooner this morning, and I thought,
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. Unfinished business or correspondence, Karen? Okay, thank you. We're looking for a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting dated March 14th, 2023 as presented. Call for a vote on that, please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes. We're looking for a motion to approve invoices in the amount of $1,366,281.65 for the period March 14th through March 28th, 2023.
So moved.
Call for vote on that, please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Bizarre?
Yes. We're looking for a motion that the actual gross payroll in the amount of $293,160.22 be approved for payment for the period February 26th through March 11th, 2023.
Second.
Please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Bizarre?
Looking for a motion to appoint Katie Laska of Punxsutawney to the Jefferson County Hotel Tax Committee.
So second.
Thank you. Call for vote on that, please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Bizarre?
We're looking for a motion to approve the following projects for payment as submitted by the Hotel Tax Committee. Punxsutawney Weather Discovery Center for brochures, $1,887, and the Broadway Old Fashioned 4th of July celebration brochure for $436.
So second.
Okay. Call for a vote, please.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Bizarre?
Yes. Looking for a motion to approve BWB Landscaping as the apparent low bidder for mowing of county properties at the cost of $1,440 per month. Second. Thank you. Ben?
Sure. So we received 3 bids for the mowing of the county properties, and BWB was a little bidder. They mowed county properties last year also, so they're on the agenda for approval today.
Okay. Thank you. Call for a vote on that, please, Karen.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Bizarre?
Looking for a motion to proclaim the month of April 2023 as Pennsylvania 811 Safe Digging Month in Jefferson County.
Second.
Okay, call for a vote on that, please, Karen.
Mr. Bowlers?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Bizarre?
Okay, we're looking for a motion to proclaim the month of April 2023 as Child Abuse Prevention Month in Jefferson County.
So moved.
Okay. Turn it over to you.
Thank you for giving us this time. April is Child Abuse Prevention Month, and as a local child advocacy center, we are trying to improve and expand the things that we do to acknowledge April as Child Abuse Prevention. One of the things that we're doing this year, Western PA Cares for Kids and Jeff Burkett, District Attorney Jeff Burkett, are co-sponsoring a training for law enforcement. And Jeff's comments to everyone is that he is very excited for the opportunity to train a whole new generation of police officers on successful investigations for child abuse cases. They are part of the first responders, and it is very, very important that they have up-to-date training. This is our second training this year. In January, we provided training to 32 people of our multidisciplinary team. And those are people that are involved in some way with every one of our cases of child abuse. The presenters for that were the District Attorney's Office, Children and Youth Services, Crossroads Project, and Western PA Cares for Kids. All of this training is being held to reiterate how important it is to work for our agencies to work together to ensure that children remain our priority and that these children can be certain that their hope and healing can be found in Jefferson County. Having the needed tools to help all of us, these children need this. It is about the children. Since our beginning in 2008, we have provided free services to 1,426 children and their families. We must work together to provide the best possible outcomes for the children. No one agency can provide everything that the children and these families need. The development of the multidisciplinary team was the beginning of this, and it was brought to our county through District Attorney Jeff Burkett, because child abuse prevention, healing, and justice was always in the forefront and important to him from the very beginning. The multidisciplinary team is made up of law enforcement, children and youth services, victim services, therapists, medical professionals, and our center. We meet on a monthly basis and discuss all child abuse open cases so that we know things are moving along like they should be. If there's something that needs done, we're aware of it. If the family has needs that have come about since they were at the center, then our family advocate's going to inform us all about those needs. Western PA Cares for Kids has grown since 2008 in its meager inception of 1 employee. We have 4 employees now. And we have also received accreditation from the National Children's Alliance 2 times now. Every 5 years, you have to meet their standards, and they set the standards for child advocacy centers across the nation. We're proud that we were able to come up to those standards, and being a rural community makes it a little more difficult than in a larger community where more services are available. We also have a new nurse that will be starting this month, and she just finished her online training and her preceptorship in Hackensack, New Jersey. So she will be able to provide head-to-toe medical evaluations, non-invasive medical evaluations. So we have 2 nurses now. For a period of time, we only had 1 nurse, and it was difficult to provide all of these children with a medical evaluation. The nurses come from Muncie Area Hospital. They are employees there, and they give up their time to come to the center to provide these. I'm going to turn it over to Cass Burkett now as my assistant director and additional forensic interviewer to tell you some of the other things we're doing, and then I'll have a look.
So Child Abuse Prevention Month isn't all doom and gloom either. So we're trying to focus on that. While the prevention piece is really important, teaching parents about safe touch and unsafe touch and grooming behaviors, we also wanted to focus on, like, children are a joy and they're a beautiful part of our community. So we're holding a coloring art contest this year for all of the Jefferson County school districts. So the theme will be joy, since we're trying to focus on that this year. And so it's going to be K through 12, and there will be 4 different categories. So it'll be K through 2nd, 3rd through 6th, 7th through 9th, and 10th through 12th. And we'll pick a winner from each school student. So each school district of students that submit will pick a winner from each of those categories. And we'll also have an overall winner who their art will be printed on a t-shirt with our logo on the back, so we can just celebrate the joy that children are and bring to our community. And that's why we're so passionate about protecting them. So submissions will need to be into us by April 25th at 5 p.m. and we will pick a winner by April 28th. And the submissions can be either emailed to me at cburkett@carescac.org, or they can be mailed to us at our address, which is 3262 322 in Brooklyn. So we're really excited about that, and so we can elevate the kids in the community. So the other, some of the other things that we're doing this month is that we're going to be doing a safe and unsafe touch presentation at the library during story hour for the toddlers and for the kindergarteners. We don't know exactly what week we're going to. We're still working with the library to get those details all worked out, but follow them on Facebook or on Instagram so you can see exactly when we're coming for that. So we're really excited to be able to read a story to the kids and show them the importance of this. And the last thing that I really want to talk about that we're really excited about, Pat and I have been working really tirelessly trying to get this done, but we are, for the very first time since we began in 2008, we'll be offering on-site trauma therapy for the children that we serve. So we, our therapist that we work with most closely, Jennifer McDonald, who works out of Rooted Counseling, which her office is in Du Bois. She'll be coming to the center once a week on Mondays, and she'll be providing therapy for our kids so they don't have to drive as far and make it more accessible, which we're really, really excited about. So she uses evidence-based trauma therapy, which is trauma-focused cognitive behavioral therapy, which is TFCBT. So we're really, really excited to be working with her. Her first day of coming to the center will be April 3rd. So we're really looking forward to that. So those are just some of the exciting things we have coming this month. So.
All right, thank you.
And we're also asking everyone to show their support for the children in the community by wearing blue on April 3rd and taking photos, and either email them to us at cburkett@carescac.org, or tag us in your photos at Western PA Cares for Kids on Facebook or WPA Cares for Kids on Instagram. We are also asking businesses and schools to contact us if they're willing to put our Stand Up for Children poster in their windows. I would love to see every store in town do that, but I know that's not going to happen. We are asking effective child abuse prevention programs succeed because of partnerships created among social service agencies, schools, religious and civic organizations, law enforcement agencies, and business community. Together, we can make a difference for our children. Some of the schools are going to be holding a Jean Day on April 14th, and teachers have the option of wearing jeans that day and providing a donation of their choice to Western PA Cares for Kids, and we're going to use that money to buy book packs and supplies for those book backpacks, and possibly Christmas presents for some of the kids that we see at Cares that don't have much of a Christmas. We must work together as a community to increase awareness about child abuse and contribute to promoting it, the social and emotional well-being of children and families in a safe, stable, and nurturing environment. We will be providing presentations regarding child abuse and what we do to help lessen the trauma for children at the center during the month of April. Let's show our community kids that they matter and that we are willing to stand up for children. We would like to present the commissioner each with an lapel pin. You can do that. And request the proclamation be signed, and if you would also shine a blue light in the tower of the courthouse for the month of April. Thank you.
Thank you. Do you guys have any questions you want to ask them while they're on?
The coloring contest that you talked about, is that something that you've sent out to all the schools then?
I have.
So they
So
all know about it then?
they do.
In the county, entire county you're sending that out or just around here?
I sent it to the Brookville School District, the, Punxsutawney School District, and the Bromley School District. Both elementary and high school, our teachers.
I'd like to add, it's a travesty that your services are even needed. But we're so very fortunate that you provide them. Thank you for doing that difficult and important work. And I would ask anyone who's so moved and able to help support you. Thank you.
All right, you talked about a lot of stuff there, so.
Thanks again. Okay, we're looking for a motion to execute amendment number 2 to the inmate telephone services agreement with Inmate Calling Solutions LLC, updating new equipment, as well as making available to the county a one-time technology grant in the amount of $12,500. Oops, sorry. Yeah. I do need to, so I apologize for that. Call for vote for that.
Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Passarch?
Thank you. Go ahead. Okay. So we'll start over on that other one then. Motion to execute amendment number 2 to the inmate telephone services agreement with Inmate Calling Solutions LLC, updating new equipment as well as making available to the county a one-time technology grant in the amount of $12,500.
Second.
You. And call for vote.
Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Motion to enter into an agreement with KTH Architects for the architectural services for the county's proposed new 911 center in the amount not to exceed $5,000.
Second.
Ben, you have anything you want to add to that?
No, I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. Oh, he wasn't. Well, we left you out. We left you out of that. Okay, call for vote on that, please.
Mr. Fuller?
Yes.
Mr. North?
Yes.
Mr. Passarch?
Okay, the Tracy Zents, we were just seeing Larry, if he was paying attention, we put that in twice. Meetings in a row.
I was paying attention.
Okay. So now at this time, we'll have public comments. And Dave Deemer, I'm gonna give the floor, please.
Thank you, gentlemen, for letting me get up and do a little complaining. I'm scared. I got. I have essential tremors, and that's why I'm shaking. But anyhow, I wasn't gonna pursue this. But seems how I read an article and problems that I've had with the DAV van getting the right to Pittsburgh. The first time that I talked to Dave, and you have, with the VA, you have to notify them 72 hours in advance if you're gonna cancel. Well, I didn't hear back by Friday, which at that time, that was on February 20th, I believe. Pardon me if I don't have these dates right. that, anyhow, I contacted Dave that I had the appointment on the 20th, and, he said, okay, no problem, we'll get a driver and get you down to Pittsburgh. Well, the weather was getting bad, and I didn't hear back from Dave, so I canceled on Friday. And then I talked to him Monday, and he said that, you know, because of the weather, that he never returned the call to let me know. Well, then, so I rescheduled down at Pittsburgh, VA hospital. What I'm working on is a second opinion. I already talked to a neurosurgeon up in Du Bois. I need back surgery there. And so they rescheduled me. That was on March the 24th, I think. And anyhow, I talked to Dave again, and we set up a time when I needed to leave, and he was gonna get me a ride down there again, call one of the drivers. And since then, I found out that he's kind of limited on drivers, that on Friday, I hadn't heard back from him. So I called to find out, and he said he was on emergency leave with his mother and had brain surgery, so he had to get down and be with her, which I am sympathetic to that. That was a true emergency. And anyhow, there again, he never got back to me, and so I canceled again. Well, this time I figured, you know, there's no sense of canceling anymore. I just have to go with the first surgeon I talked to. And let's see. Like I say, I wasn't even gonna pursue this until I seen this letter here. Somebody else had the same problem. And I have a lot of friends in the Legion and DFW and that, and they get the same report, not just from my friends, but other people too, that say they call him and he never returns your calls. And if you had a chance to read this lady several times they tried to contact me to see about something, and he doesn't return his calls. And that's when I decided, well, if this is happening a lot, it needs to be addressed. And as far as the DAV van, I don't think that he's the gentleman to be in charge of that. You need somebody that you can rely on getting a call back, because the VA does not tolerate last minute calls. You call them, you know, an hour or two before you have to be there, and they don't tolerate it. Or if you don't call them at all, then it may be 6 months before they ever give you another appointment. That's just the way they operate. And that's why I'm here today. I hate to complain about anybody, that something's got to be done with it. And you're the gentleman that is the only one that can do anything about it. And I discussed it last Thursday with some of my friends down at Coffee, and I was supposed to have some support up there today, but that's okay. I don't mind going on my own. It would be very much appreciated if you could discuss this and see if there's any thing that can be done about it. Thank you, Jim.
We appreciate that, Dave, and we will address it. If you want to say anything, you're.
Sure, I haven't been to a meeting this year yet, so. I'll start at the beginning, we'll get to DAV. Last year, since this is the first meeting I've been to this year, we had 1,272 in-person appointments. We are doing business hours now on the second Thursday in Brockway at the Legion, on the second Friday at the VFW in Punxsutawney, and on the third Wednesday every other month at the Reynoldsville Legion. Also, we have every other month currently, which may change, the Military Share Food Bank Program, which is the first Thursday of every other month, out at the Jefferson County Fairgrounds. To this point, I was told last time we had 185 households that were served, and it's said that we are the largest distribution that they have. Flags for the cemeteries have been ordered. They'll be in on April 21st. They're coming out of Georgia. It's everything from there. It's all American made. All the parts are American made. Everything's done here, labor here, everything's here. Grave care was sent out by Barb 3 weeks ago, and they've almost all been received and they're being processed currently. And since I had mentioned Barb Carlson is now the assistant in my office. We have one. She's been there for about a month. And she's been busy taking phone calls, messages, and going through her certification process so that she can write claims as well. She's not a veteran, but her husband is. For appointments this year to this point, we're at 364 as of me coming up here this morning. With PACT Act and Camp Lejeune Water, we've seen a large increase in the amount of travel or amount of veterans that we see coming in. Veterans are being sent almost directly from their doctor to the office now to apply for hypertension, or the Vietnam vets anyway. And a lot of the guys that are current time that served in Persian Gulf or the War on Terror, they're being sent over by their doctors to apply for anything that they currently have. So unlike times in the past, the doctors are actually telling them, here's a list. They highlight names and tell them to go to the office and make applications for their issues. As for our numbers right now, this fiscal year, we're just shy of $7.5 million over the first 6 months, and that's just compensation and pension payments coming into the county. We are over $1 million every month, obviously, and every month it increases. We're bringing in more money currently than we have ever before. And that is with our current numbers from the federal government being at 3,199 veterans in Jefferson County, which is from 2019 when I started to now down, I think, almost 500 veterans in the county. For DAV, I have been in several conversations with the office in Altoona. They are looking at grant money now to put someone in place that can do scheduling for counties. Jefferson County is one of the only counties in the Commonwealth that schedules, where the director or the office schedules the appointments. Almost every other county has someone separate completely that schedules all the DAV rides. It makes it that way. And when I met with the state director, he had a lot of questions about DAV specifically because there are problems across the state with DAV right now. Now, as far as our county goes, currently I have one driver that's available. That driver has a very limited availability. And it came to the point where I had to go and get my license through DAV so that I could take rides. Now, when I'm taking DAV rides, I try only to do ones in Clarion or DuBois or something more local, not drive to Altoona, not drive to Pittsburgh. But if I am the only driver and I have to go take a trip, I'm not in the office. So I'm obviously not there for people when they drop in or if they're making phone calls that day. But that's where we are with DAV, right? It's all volunteers. None of them get paid, and we're not down to one driver because people are quitting. We're down to one driver because of medical reasons or vacations or needing to take care of something else, and they have to be taken off the block for a month or two at a time. But when they all come back, we should be at 4, but that's 4 is where we are for that right now. Altoona had a bunch of people apply, and they're going through the vetting process right now, trying to get them onboarded so that they can drive, but as far as I know, that's where it was left. I haven't been told of any more drivers. So I think that's everything that I have here.
Okay, thank you. So, in respect to Dave Deemer's issue, I don't know if you guys can work that out, but somehow, when the phone calls aren't made, that can be a bad for everybody, so.
I guess to speak to one thing that Dave said, which you just reminded me, he is right. The VA, if you cancel today, they get really finicky and really cranky about it. The VA also knows, and I'm not saying that this was in Dave's case, but I can say in many other cases, that DAV requires a 2-week notice for scheduling appointments. I get calls from the VA hospital all the time asking me to take people tomorrow to appointments. So though they won't accept you calling today to cancel, they'll fully accept themselves calling me to schedule today for today. So it's, that side's a double-edged sword. It's nothing that we can really do about it. They know that there's a 2-week window that we need to be able to schedule and make sure, but they'll call today for tomorrow. And then if I can't do it, which most of the time I can't, so if that were Dave, for example, then I would have to tell him, look, I can't do that for you tomorrow. And then he's gonna have to cancel today, which is gonna cause problems with the VA for tomorrow. So, I mean, that's unfortunately a part of the business that most people don't get to see.
So I'm just gonna say, if we can just make sure the phone calls are tightened up though, so that, whether, and I know now you have Barb down there, if she can be doing that or whatever, but,
Yeah, again, she's been down there for a month. So for the last month, the phone's been answered because we've had someone there able to answer the phone.
Is there an issue returning calls?
For me, right now, no. If Barb gives me a message, I try to return the call that day if I can. If not, the messages stay right there under my computer, and then when I come back, then I'll return the call.
What can we do to recruit more drivers?
Well, the office in Altoona had talked about putting ads in the newspapers up here. And they'd said something about putting out a Facebook blast, but I don't know how many people that's truly gonna reach. I mean, I don't know what the demographics are for Facebook in our county and who's actually looking at it, because guys that are 30 years old probably aren't, they're not wanting to volunteer as a driver because they have a full-time job and other things to do. And that's, in my mind, that's probably more likely who's cruising Facebook than Vietnam vets looking to pick up extra volunteer things that they can do. I think if they do a newspaper article, which I believe they said they did, if they do another one, I think that's probably going to be the best way to get it out there up here. Or if they put something in Du Bois at the VA. Now, they did hire a driver in Du Bois at the VA to go out here recently. They had one in December and he left, and now they have another one back who's taking rides from the Du Bois clinic with their van now, as John Clay had told me last time I spoke to him here a couple of weeks ago. But they didn't have anyone there for ever. I don't know how else we could get it out there. I mean, newspaper seems to be the best way. I don't know. Dave, if you go to the VA, are you paying attention to the flyers on the wall for? Because I know I don't when I go to the VA.
No.
I mean, there's stuff that they hang there, but I don't look at it. So I don't know if even if a newspaper ad or if something was on the radio, maybe. We don't have a lot of job fairs.
The worst thing about getting volunteers is most of the people my age or a little younger than me who would like to volunteer can't pass the physical, which you have to be a driver for the
Well, that's the part I overlooked as well. I mean,
I'd love to, but I have diabetes and that eliminates me from volunteering.
Okay, Anything else here in the front? Anything else under public comment? So now we'll turn it over once again to the press. Any questions?
Oh, gee, yes, I can ask about this new 911 center.
Well, so.
Miss Tracy's not here, so.
Yeah, so what we've done is we've had a study done for the county and our 911 is basically outdated. I guess would be the fair way to say it. So, we're in discussion on just what we would have to have. So,
I don't know if it's outdated, I think it's, we got around it with all the, computer that you need to run your office and especially a 911 center. There's just no room. So we have to be aggressive and look potentially if a piece of property came and we had the funding to have, plans ready to go.
Say like at a different location, not on Service Center Road, and
Probably. Yeah, there's no room.
I was gonna say, I don't know where you would put another building.
There's no room up there.
Is there a timeline on this, or we're just getting started, so?
Just getting started.
So basically, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the agreement with KTH is for them to be putting together some sort of like specification package so that the county can go out to different grant agencies to try to apply for funding for this center. So there's something in place to show exactly what needs to be constructed at a later date.
anything else?
That's what I was about to do, so.
I was just curious how many properties you guys have to take care of in the road, some besides the courthouse, and there's no grass here, so we have to do it
We
here.
have 911, you have the jail, you have the courthouse, you got the conservation district, you got 5 towers.
Yeah.
So
Some
you're-
properties too.
the tower is also the 911 towers. Wow. That's a lot.
We do that.
Okay, nothing else. We'll look for a motion to adjourn the meeting. Call for vote, please.
Mr. Coolers,
Yes.
Mr. Dorn.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff. Oh, all right. Got one too.